Old Redditors, what's a must-know story of Reddit new users should know? The guy who got drunk and did an AMA asking himself his own questions in the comments then answering them himself. The story of Champ the goat. Originally told by u/Stoic Smile about a goat who his company would rent out to eat shrubs and do landscaping. I used to work on a forestry and conservation crew. We tried to offer this service with the goat that for some reason hung out in the field next to our shop, which I guess we owned, maybe? Anyway, the goat's name was Champ, and I wouldn't be surprised if we accidentally stole Champ at one point, because Champ hated to be alone, and if you left him alone, he would find a way through or over any enclosure you left him in and wander around until he found a companion. To Champ, a companion could be a person, a dog, a chicken, a bicycle, a basketball, anything that his little goat mind imagined was a living creature. He especially liked things that seemed to have some kind of life or that made noise. Like generators and sump pumps. So when we rented Champ out to people, we warned them that he needed some kind of company, or he would escape. We often recommended something like a blow-up pool toy or even just an open umbrella. Just something nearby that Champ could imagine was his friend. Inevitably people would underestimate Champ's squirreliness, and assume that their fence/tether/stone wall was sufficient to keep him where they wanted to be, and they would leave him alone. Then we'd have to go find Champ. One time I found him in a scrapyard munching on weeds between rows of crushed cars. One time I found him curled up in the shade in a neighbor's yard with a golden retriever. But I think the best was when he made his way onto an elementary school playground. We of course had a tag on his collar with a phone number to call if he was found since he went missing so much. And one day, we got a call from a school principal informing us that he had our goat. For those of you who don't know much about goats, they delight in climbing on things. So for Champ, there was no place more attractive than the very top of the metal play structure at this playground. The kids were absolutely smitten with him, and he was absolutely thrilled to have so many friends. And he was ecstatic to be at the top of the play structure too. It wasn't until all the kids went inside after recess that we could get him down. I think it was the best day of his life. Edit, here is the original post. Also I added paragraphs because it did have them originally. My bad. One time a guy was taking a shit. He proceeded to sneeze while the power went out at the exact same time. He freaked out because he thought he shit himself blind. The saga of /r/creep shots and how a student recognized his substitute teacher posting upskirts of teenaged classmates. When a Redditor asked for help because the language on their screen changed to Spanish. And everyone replied to it in Spanish. Then Ops update was hilarious. Update so I wake up this morning to about 1,500 replies in my inbox that I cannot read. And then I run them through Google Translator and most of them say stuff like the dog is in my pants and where is the library? Thanks, Reddit. The what's the worst thing someone has said you during sex? Talk dirty to me attempt. Edit, typo. Not really a story, but an epic comment thread nonetheless. How did you take that picture? There was this girl from the Solomon Islands. Used to live in a tiny village or settlement, on a small island there. Used to get around on canoes, and live in primitive little self-made huts. She'd sometimes go to Brisbane, where I think she had studied or visited a while. She just showed all of us what island life was like, removed from modern conveniences of restaurants, supermarkets, cars, and stress. I loved seeing her photos and reading about her life there. Does anyone else remember this girl from the Solomon Islands? The guy who dreamed an entire life and a lamp ruined it all. R/trees and R/marijuana enthusiasts are swapped. If you have a question about your oak tree, R/trees will tell you how to smoke it, while R/marijuana enthusiasts will tell you how to nurture it. It is completely worth being subbed to both, just for the crossover posts. I can't believe everyone forgot about MTG Butts Guy. That was the highest upvoted post on Reddit for a while. Idiot, here ya go. The guy who wanted to leave his wife who posted to r/relationship advice, but was worried about how she'd react. Reddit told him to stop being a pussy, so he told her it was over, then she killed both their kids. The guy whose very special brother loves this one specific Tonka truck from the 90s. It was a fire and rescue truck and his family finds them on eBay and buys him one every Christmas and it's the only thing B loves, and OP couldn't find one anywhere and came to Reddit to ask if anyone had one in an attic or old toy box. Everyone was so helpful and the post was just a beautiful internet moment. It's not that old, but the story of how Ellen Pao was head of Reddit and lost her job in 2015. That was the time period when Reddit went from mostly free-range community to business-curated social media outlet. A lot of people see that 2014 into 2016 timeframe as the death of old Reddit. I'd say test post, please ignore, I'm a very old Redditor, this isn't my first account, and I remember this post fondly. At the time it had 10k upvotes I think, and back then that was unheard of. What's a piece of propaganda that to this day still has many people fooled? Till Reddit has no idea what propaganda is. ITT, people not understanding the word propaganda. Edit, a word. The term carbon footprint? It was coined by British Petroleum, BP, to shift the responsibility of climate change onto the common people. Guinness is high in iron. This was used to market beer to pregnant women. For real. 1 ounce of nuts has twice as much iron as a Guinness. Asterisk edit, cool. My biggest comment ever is about Guinness, asterisk. The McDonald's hot coffee lady smear campaign. Coffee's is generally 130F. McDonald's was 200. McDonald's had been cited on 7 other occasions that they were keeping their coffee at dangerously hot temperatures. The woman had 4th-degree burns to her genitalia. She simply asked McDonald's to pay the $20,000 in medical bills. They refused and she sued for the $20,000. The $9 million was added by the jury. That you need detoxifiers like charcoal smoothies or whatever shill health nuts try and force on you. Us humans wouldn't have survived this long if we didn't already have an organ that detoxes our blood and digests food. A good chunk of food health propaganda. Asterisk milk is a super drink they builds your teeth/bones. Asterisk eat beets/kale to detoxify your body. Asterisk drink apple cider vinegar to balance your body's acidity levels. There's a whole laundry list of them. And in all brutal honesty, almost all of them are people taking a study basic findings and exaggerating it to the extreme. The simple trick to having a healthy diet is just don't eat the junk food/processed food on a regular basis and you're fine. Eat a healthy amount per meal. If you follow those 2 you will always be healthy barring extreme situations. That carrots make you see better in the dark. The claim originated with the British to explain why they were shooting down so many German planes. They had actually invented radar. Edit, just because this is blowing up and it's tangentially related. Rabbits shouldn't really eat carrots much at all, they are too high in sugar and lack the nutrients they need. The whole rabbit/carrot thing dates back to the origin of Bugs Bunny, who in an early cartoon mimicked a famous Clark Gable movie scene involving eating tons of carrots. Eventually the carrot became Bugs' trademark gimmick and we've all since linked rabbits love carrots, but please, don't feed carrots to your rabbits folks, they're bad for them. Diamonds are rare and valuable. That fat in food is bad for you. That water fountains are bad for you as they contain a shit ton of harmful bacteria. Take a swab of virtually anywhere and you'll get harmful bacteria. Dark roast coffee having more caffeine than light roast. People still don't believe me, the lighter the roast, the more caffeine. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Food drives are massive propaganda. People believe that donating their unwanted food to a food bank helps people. Yes. It's a really nice thing to do, and absolutely creates goodwill and makes people feel good about themselves. It's a lovely thing to have children do to exercise/tune their empathy. Too many of the donations are unusable, expired, damaged, and the cost of sorting and transporting donations can actually exceed its value to a food bank. If you want to help hungry people in your community, donate your time or money to your local food bank. On the flip side, please use your local food bank before you're in crisis, before you're homeless, before the electric is turned off. We want you to use the services as the first line of defense if you're struggling, not the last. Chemicals are bad for you, try our all-natural, organic, GMO-free version instead. What never fails to make you horny? Talking where I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. A really good tight hug from behind, so I can feel his junk up against me. Wrapping his arms underneath my breasts and either whispering in my ear or kissing them. I.e. actual moans. Not fake ones or joke ones lol, just real ones. When a man puts his hand on the small of my back and draws me in close, and abruptly. When a guy wears short sleeves and does that stretch with their arms behind their head. Hugs from behind. Kiss on the neck from behind. Feeling anything from behind lol. I once got a boner in French class when the teacher showed a picture of a really tasty looking croissant. So I don't think anything is off the table. Ear biting. Or whispering. Or anything that's directly aimed at my ears. Uncovered shoulders and premarital hand holding. Come inside me. That's my secret, Cap, I'm always horny. A woman in a tank top and jeans, don't know why but it does it for me. Everything. Neck kisses. Waist grabs.